Shalom, shalom. All right, get Shabbat services started just a little bit.
Shalom, shalom. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God Yahweh, and I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, who worldly called Jesus Christ, Shemai, Yasharala Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa Yahweh Achad.
Israel or God Lord.
All right, whew, how everybody doing? So a lot of things is going on, especially these last days. Again, pay attention and watch. That's what the scriptures say. Watch. All right, let me pull that for you. You're supposed to watch. You're supposed to pay attention to the things that are going on. And then I'm going to get to you for a little article about what's going on. All right? So, let me get it real quick. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see that. Let me get Luke 21 and 36. Sec. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 36. I'll start. Let me see. I'm going to start at 32. It's Luke 21 and verse 32. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Men. And in the daytime he was teaching. Slack, I didn't mean to read that. But yeah, verse 36, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. All right, let me get to the blue letter real quick, because I want to look that up in the blue letter. All right, excuse me. Boom. I'm gonna share the screen. Give me just a second, y'all. All right. Boom. Let's share the screen with y'all. All right, here we go. All right. Luke 21 and I'm gonna start at 31 in here. So likewise, ye, when you see these things come to pass, know that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with stuff right here. This word right here is what I want to get. I don't know what it means. 9 times out of 10, a lot of my people don't know what it means, but we're going to look that up. Krahipa'ah in the Greek, okay? Krahipa'ah in the Greek, all right. The giddiness and headache caused by drinking wine to excess, all right? Excessive. These people are going to be caught up because they're drinking wine to excess, all right? Let's look up that word real quick. Meaning of excess, an amount of something that is more than necessary, permitted, or desirable. All right. An excess, EXCESS, an amount of something that is more than necessary. You're doing more than necessary. Okay. More than necessary, more than permitted, more than desirable. All right. Probably a headache as a seizure of pain from drunkenness, i.e., by implication, debauch, by analogy, a glut, surfeiting. Or whether I said that right. Let me look that up in a dictionary. All right. So I want to make sure we get an understanding from all resources, okay? SURL. Let's see what that means.
Surfeit.
Surfeiting, okay? Cause someone to desire no more of something as a result of having consumed or done to excess. All right. So they're excessive with it. They just excessive. I mean, person is drinking from sun up to sundown. That's excessive. Okay. A person, all they do all day is smoke blunts. How many blunts do people smoke a day? I mean, when I was in the world, it'd be like 5 or 6. It can get to 10 sometimes. That is excessive. Okay. You must do things in moderation. The scripture says, pass me that precept, please. Do things in moderation. These are the things you got to pay attention to, man. And I'm glad this precept came up through the Spirit. You must do things in moderation. And what's moderate? Let's find out. You know what moderate. We'll look up the words for everybody's sake. All right. And I gotta get it right here. Let me see. Meaning of moderation: the avoidance of excess or extremes, especially in one's behavior or political opinion. Got to show restraint and self-control, self-discipline. All right. You got that, Tanaka Arya? Okay. Go ahead. A sensation of whirling and a tendency to fall or stagger, dizziness. There you go. When you get to this point, giddiness. When you get to this point right here, a sensation of whirling and a tendency to fall or stagger or dizziness. This is what you do these things to do. All right. Did you find it? It's okay. Through the Spirit, we'll come back up to it. I just wanted to go there just to show y'all something, man. That's about it. All right, just to look that up. Now let's go back and read it again. suffering, suffering and drunkenness. You know, right here. Giddiness, a whirling and tendency to fall or stagger and dizziness. Right? This is excessive. Overcharged with suffering. This is over excessive. All right. And drunkenness and cares of this world. And so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch this. Watch ye therefore. That's what I wanted to point out from the beginning. Watch ye therefore and pray always. Pray without ceasing, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Now watch this. My wife posted this today. Naim is very in touch with the political world, man. She be watching. I love that about her. She watch. Oh yeah. Let me see. Let me go over here real quick. I just saw this before, 10 minutes before we went live. Let me go here real quick. Do, 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 do. Here we go. Tennessee House approves bill restricting discussion on race and racism in schools. Wow, that's crazy. That is effing insane not to teach that in schools. What do y'all think? Y'all think racism should be taught in schools? Think racism should be taught in school?
Yeah, sure.
Why you think it should? What's some?
To know the history and know what racism actually is, what people pertain it to be. It's like, oh, you're racist. They want to know be racist. It's pretty much showing that, yeah, I love my people, but you,
Right, exactly. What's up? What do you think? Do you think racism should be taught in school?
Yeah, there's no explanation why.
Well, I for one believe it should, and the reason why it should. Matter of fact, before I get to the reason why it should, the only way racism can be taught in schools if you desegregate schools. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will be in one school because we are the same people, and the other people will be over there in their own schools. Why? Because you need teachers that look like yourself. You need those teachers that look like yourself. Why? Because when something comes on the news about white people shooting you, your own people are not going to docile you. They're not going to be sitting there, pampering you, telling you God loves everybody and everything. Now, y'all going to be coming up with a plan and how we can stop this. We can get them out of our neighborhoods. It'd be more of a unified thing to separate from them. Now, of why it should is for things that so stuff like that won't happen. That's why racism should be taught in schools. So things like getting shot won't happen. Things like young men going out selling drugs, having sex with all these women all the time won't happen. They'll be taught how to love their own people because being racist is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. The fact that I love my people more than that people is a good thing. But I would say this: when white people hear somebody else being racist in their mind, they think you're being racist like them. That's what they're thinking. Oh, if they start doing what we doing, it's over. And that's just what they're thinking. But I don't think anyone can be racist like white people. White people are just vile. And they got to live with that. The fact that they live with that means they accept it. Most people just jump off a building. White people can't take them. And white people commit suicide all the time. You see it. I mean, you got to have some cojones to jump off the Empire State Building. Hey, that's a long splat. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that out. And that's passed in Tennessee. Tennessee is one of the worst racist states in America, and they don't want to teach kids about that. And the crazy thing about it is that if it's not being taught at home, it's not going to be taught at all. And I say 7 times out of 10, the parents are not educated enough on racism and knowing what it means. So they're going to go off what their teachers and how they grew up in the school system and what racism was. So look how uneducated the parents are versus what the children are going to go through now. Now the children are going to be arguing with the parents when they come home. That's what's going to happen. When you have your kids in a public school system, you're going to get pushed back in arguments because all day they listen to white teachers tell them what life is. All day. It shouldn't work that way. And I tell you one thing, what COVID-19 done. COVID-19 has taught Black and Hispanic and Native Indian mothers and fathers to teach their own children at home. It helped them out. Like it's more, it's a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Curriculum is cool, but it's the parent. And I think now, since they want to, since that is a good thing, you find that is a good thing. Parents should be paid to teach their children so they're staying at home more. Instead of paying the teachers, pay the parents to stay at home and teach their kids and come up with these curriculums, or keep the same curriculum but teach their kids. Why pay the teachers when you can pay the parents?
But they wouldn't want that because the school loses money for each kid to express and school the government.
And that's good. And then you hit them with this. What's more important? My child teaching him or you? What's more important? That's what you get. Or maybe that parent can be that parent can be waged off to school to get their degree and get paid and go to school and get a degree. You see what I mean? You kill them at all costs. You kill them at every corner they go to so they won't run away from it. So if the parent is being paid to go to school and being paid to teach the child and make sure the child is doing the curriculum, so when the kid is off a class, the parent is now on a class. See? These things work. So let's get back to the topic at hand, which is Shabbath services. Okay. All right, mic is on. And turn my comments on. Remember, you guys, if you want to comment, go to the YouTube page, like. That way our channel can go through the algorithms and it can stay on top of everything, all right? So, everybody, let's go to Leviticus 25. Zanakaria, I want you to read. Hey, a lot of people don't watch things that are not contentious. But in these last days, things are going to get very contentious. Shouldn't they watch the things that are not contentious, that is good for them, versus in the end, things start to get contentious because you didn't watch the things that weren't contentious? Man, this is crazy. All right, when you're ready, start.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord.
And this is what I was talking about during camp yesterday, about a lot of these farmers. When that hail and that blasting hit their land and those crops, it's because they don't keep a land Sabbath. Read.
6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyards,
right,
and gather in the fruit thereof.
Right.
But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord.
Right.
Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. That which groweth of its own accord of thy hearts, right, thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee and for thy servant, and for thy maid and for thy hired servant, and for the stranger that sojourneth with thee, and for thy cattle and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years, in the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years. shall be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of the atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land.
Okay.
And ye shall hallow the 15th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof.
All right, stop right there. Where you at?
Okay.
All right, give me a second. Let's show people what pruning the vineyard is. Right here, they're pruning the vineyard. They're pruning the vine. So real quick before we listen to Esau. All right. This is Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 4. But the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. Now you're about to find out what pruning the vineyard is, and then you're going to find out what sowing the field is. Okay? So listen to him just a little bit, and we'll go to the next.
Lay down. So, got a vine. This is a bilateral vertical shoot position trellis, meaning that it's a vertical shoot. As you can see, the rows are tucked into the wires. Bilateral meaning we have two arms. Some vineyards nowadays are getting planted at a closer spacing, and they sometimes only have one arm. So, front. So, your trellis wire. These are shoots last year.
And I'm showing this because it's very important to show y'all this. A lot of people read this and don't know what they're talking about.
Okay. When I come to a vine to prune it, first thing I look for is which canes I want to keep. Which are the ones that I want to lay down. So let's say I pick this one. Everything else is going to get cut off and pulled out of the trellis, laid in the row to be chopped later. We'll make a cut here, and then you can also pull the brush out. Because they're in the wires, they get tangled up in there, and it can be kind of a pain. I find the more times you cut it, the easier it is to pull it out. So I'll pull, and if it doesn't come out, I'll cut it. If it still doesn't come out, I'll cut somewhere else. I basically will just keep cutting until it comes out with one arm. I don't want to see anybody doing this, yanking it out. You might whack your neighbor, you might throw your back out. It's easier, believe me, just to cut it, you know. The tendrils and stuff will get wound up in the wires. And I'll show you when we get out there. We have the head area here. This is where we want our canes that we keep to originate from, keep the form. If we picked one of these canes down here to lay down,
all right, we're not going to listen to all that, y'all.
This area, it's not being.
Remember, y'all, we taught Esau. Remember, we taught Esau all of this. When Esau came over here, the so-called Hispanics and Native Indians was teaching them this. So the reason why they're doing these videos, because they were taught to do this. By who? The Hispanics and the Native Indians when they came over here.
Spring for many of us is place now, just a few short weeks to go. At this time of year, thoughts inevitably turn to what we're going to be sowing and growing during the course of the coming growing season. Plans are being made, and the very first seeds are ready to be sown. The excitement is palpable. In this video, we're going to explore some simple tips for sowing with success under cover. Let's start the growing season as we mean to go on, and it all begins with those precious seeds.
Starting seedlings off under the protection of a greenhouse, polythene tunnel or cold frame enables eager gardeners to get a head start on the growing season. Sowing under cover, while conditions outside are still less than ideal, means you can raise strong, healthy seedlings, safe from chilly winds and pests. Greenhouses and similar structures trap the sun's warmth, hold on to it for longer, making nights less cold, while significantly raising the temperature on sunny days, effectively bringing the start of the growing season forward by up to a month. For the very earliest start, however, you can't be convenient.
I just wanted to show y'all that, just to educate you on what the Bible's talking about. The Most High said you're not going to do. These suckers right here will sow seed and prune the vine, even on the Sabbath. Not supposed to. It's supposed to be a rest for the field. All right? These suckers hard-headed, man. All right, where'd you stop at? All right, where'd you stop at? All right, go ahead. Start at 8, Bobby Kushak.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 8. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years. And the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Thou shalt.
All right, Salakia. Start at 5 because we just got to show the video. All right.
Verse 5. Leviticus chapter 25, verse 5. That which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine and dress, for it is a year of rest unto the land. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid servant, for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for the stranger that sojourneth with thee, and for thy cattle, and for the beasts that which are in thy land, and shall all the increase thereof be meat.
So you're not to sell it. You're not to just not to sell it. It's just supposed to be for meat for you, just to eat off of. Just go take what you need for the day, and that's it. You can go make you some wine with it, or make jellies and stuff like that for the day, or mix a jar of jelly for the week. It's not for you to just go outside into the market. All right, you guys, I got this for sale. No, it's for Sabbath. It's only for meat now. All right? Continue to read.
Verse 8. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years. In the space of the 7 Sabbaths of thee, thou shalt be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month, day of atonement. Shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land, unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap with that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it, and thy vine dress. For it is the jubilee. It shall be holy unto you. You shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. In the year of this jubilee, you shall return every man into his possession.
Say what?
In the year of this Jubilee, ye shall return every man unto his possession.
So, every man, is this talking about Israelites and heathens? Who can answer that for me? Is this talking about Israelite and heathens? Return them unto their possessions, their homes. You get to go home. I'm done with you and everything else.
It's not about Israelites.
Con.
You have servants after they school there. Here's a servant there. They go.
Yeah.
So they're heathens and they're slaves.
Okay, so how can we separate? How can we differentiate who gets to go, who's not, who don't get to go? Who gets to go, who don't get to go? Where can we go to prove that? Because it's not what you say, it's what you can prove. Can you help out on this? Okay, cool.
Wouldn't that be it was into the autumn?
Let's just go over to verse 43 real quick. Read that, doesn't that, Coria?
Go to verse 43.
Uh-huh.
Verse 43. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but thou shalt fear thy God. Both thy bondman and thy bondmaid, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen.
Shall be what?
Shall be of the heathen.
Read.
That are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, they shall be your possession.
Keep going.
And you shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. And possession, they shall be your bondmen forever.
For what?
Forever.
For what?
Forever.
So do we release them in the year of Jubilee, or do we keep them forever?
Forever.
So they don't go in the Jubilee, huh? They stay. So like you said, this has a lot to do with Israelites that are working for you. And like it said in verse 43, I'm going to start at verse 39. This is Leviticus chapter 25 and 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant, but as an hired servant. And as a sojourner he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possessions of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy God. And then it starts going into the heathen. Them shall we buy, and their families we keep. We own them. They're possessions unto us. So when we was reading everything in Luke, right there, he was telling you everything must come to pass. These heathens are going to be our possessions, whether they want to or not. You were created to be my possession. That's why they were created. So when people keep asking why were the other nations created, you were created to be a servant to me. Our servants are walking around acting like they're better than us. So why would they want you to come to your God? That's why the scripture says we're going to break them into shivers. You know how when you was a kid, you got your ass whooped? You know, like that, you know what I'm saying? Breaking the shivers. That's what we're going to do to them. Because you're going to have to break them. But they were created to be servants. They weren't created to be anything other than but that. The Most High gave them chances just to show us that they can't be that people. He gave them many chances to rule. You got the Babylonian Empire, right? Then you had the Persian and Median Empire. Then you had the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire. Now that's the end. I mean, even before that, you have the Ammonite and Moabite Empire. You had a lot of empires. They had their chance to rule. And they showed time and time after again that they are not a righteous people to rule the world. They just can't. And they know that. Every time they get into rulership, it's destruction, chaos, and servitude. Destruction, chaos, and servitude. They want to rule people with the rod. Nobody will listen to them. They're unrighteous. Their laws are just unrighteous. White people make you eat shit from the sea. Everybody, they doing their own worst thing. But you know what they'll do? But what about you? This is not the time to deflect. We're talking about you. The magnifying glass is on us like this. Everybody can see what we do. The point is to not let them deflect from us talking about them. That's it. So go back to Leviticus 25 and 13, Bob Kushan.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 13. In the year of this Jubilee, you shall return every man into his possession.
Correct.
And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, you shall not oppress one another. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according to the number of years of the fruits, he shall sell unto thee.
So what is this right here? This is us buying from one another. Every nation does this. They buy from themselves. You know what I'm saying? You can come in like, Chinese. They got the Chinese restaurants. They don't. They will actually put their menus in Chinese. Why? Because they don't need you. Their people will support their business. Like when you go to Kearny Mesa, not Kearny Mesa, but Claremont Mesa, all down that little strip of I forgot the name of it, Convoy. They got all a bunch of Chinese restaurants, right? They support one another. They don't care if you come. You can come, but their menus are going to be in their language. That's because their people support their business. You see what I'm saying? They want to go out and have a good time. They go to their own business. You know what I'm saying? That's what they'll do. So that what it's talking about is verse 14. If thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. Hey man, there's a 20% tax on that, bro. Hey bro, just how people use. What are some things that people will do to their brother when they're selling to their brother? It's oppressive. You know what I'm saying? What are some things? They'll have coupons, but they won't give to their brother to get the coupon to get the, to get a cheaper price. You know what I'm saying? They'll do things like that, or some other things. You know what I'm saying? Whoever in the comment, you got some ideas, just go ahead and write them down. Okay, but at the same time, not to do that. All right, we buy one another. Our people got discounts from us. You know what I'm saying? They don't have enough money. They were on a little list, and this is how much you owe at the end of the month and everything else, and they come back and they'll pay. You know what I'm saying? They'll get their monthly check or whatnot. They haven't got their check yet, and you know them. You write on the list like, yeah, you owe this much, and they'll come in a month. That when they got their check, and they'll pay you for what they needed. You feel what I mean? We do those things for our people. For other heathen nations, no. You don't have to, but it's up to you. Entirely up to you. But we don't oppress our own people. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and read it. 15, Zechariah.
Verse 15. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy thy neighbor. According to the number of years of the fruits, he shall sell unto thee. According to the multitude of years, thou shalt increase the price thereof. According to the fewness of years, thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits doeth he sell unto thee. You shall not therefore oppress one another. Thou shalt fear thy God, for I am the Lord your God.
So he said for the beginning of the first 3 years, you're going to raise the prices. That's just for everybody, period. You know what I'm saying? Raise the prices. Taxes is for the heathen. And then the last few years, you're going to lower the prices. Hold on.
Ye shall do my statutes and keep my judgments, and do them, and ye shall dwell in the land in safety. And the land shall yield her fruit, and ye shall eat your fill, and dwell therein in safety. And if ye shall say, where shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow, nor have in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat of old fruit, until the 9th year, until the fruits come in. You shall eat of the old store. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine. For you were strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession you shall grant a redemption for the land. And if thy brother be waxen poor, and hath sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that hath bought it unto the year of Jubilee. And in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession. And if a man sell a dwelling house and a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold.
That's like these big old buildings downtown. It's like a walled city. You know what I'm saying? It's like inside of a city. It's not in the country. You know what I'm saying? If it was in a country, you can't keep somebody's house. It goes out in the year of Jubilee. But this walled city right here, which is San Diego, that's not in the country, and he sell it. And if it's not redeemed within a year, he gets to keep it. Go ahead.
Sure. In verse 28. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that hath bought it until the years of Jubilee. And in Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year may he redeem it. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it.
For what?
Established forever to him that bought it.
And this is law. This is good. You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody putting up a pawn. They're just pawning their apartment or pawning their car. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's why it's good to have friends of surety. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, I need to get my car out. You help me out? Yeah, I got you. It's good to have bros of surety. When you need something, you ask. A closed mouth don't get fed. Always got to ask. You know what I'm saying? Of surety. Brother be of surety, cool, man. I know brothers that do things for me. I like to do things for them right away, just how they did things for me right away. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, a house, the car look at me like, bro, I don't know about that. House and a condo is, you know what I'm saying? Hey, there's some racks, bro. There's some racks. But, you know, if I do, you understand that. And the year is mine, right? You know what I'm saying? And then the real bro will be like, cool, it's mine now. Now you got to buy it from me. You got to buy it from me now, bro. You know, so you don't get this back in Jubilee. I told you that a year ago. All right? You know the law. Okay, you don't redeem it within the year. Cool, it's mine now. But sell it back to you. That's even better. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta praise it first. Hold on. No, you can't use your usury oppressor and be like, you know what I'm saying? You bought it for 130K. I'm charge you 150K. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you can't do that. But go ahead, Baba Kasha.
Verse 31. But the houses of the villages, but the houses of the villages which have no walls round about them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. Notwithstanding, the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession may the Levites redeem at any time. But if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold and the city of his possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel.
So we might as well not even deal with a Levite when it comes to his suburb house. He was like, bro, I can't do it, man, but I'm gonna pay my tithes a little early. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even know if I would do that. You know, if a Levite go broke, there's something wrong. The Levite go broke, there's something wrong, man. You not at the temple? What's up? You not at the tabernacle? What's going on, bro? Like, why are you selling your trying to sell your suburb, bro? I'm finna go to the chief, man, because this is not right. Because why would I buy your suburb when I gotta give it right back? That don't make no sense, bro. I gotta give it right back. I can't even technically buy your suburb. It doesn't make any sense. I can't keep it. Nothing. I mean, you can. All right, like a basic. I say you can. Let me see. Verse 32. Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possessions, may the Levites redeem at any time. Okay, cool. So basically, if he upon his suburb, hold on. Hold on, verse 33. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold in the city of this possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee. For the houses of the cities and Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. But the field of the suburbs of the cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. They can't even sell it. They can't even sell their suburb. But anything other than that, they can purchase it back at any time. You know what I'm saying? So if they sold their house in the what you call that again, in the walled cities, they sold it, they should be able to get it back at any time. So let me see. Yeah, Levites can redeem their stuff back at any time. It's just law of the Most High. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 33. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold in the city of his possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession.
Mm-hmm.
And if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
So what do you think it means by when it says when he has fallen in decay with thee? Like he was with you and he got broke while he was with you, or he's fallen in decay with you. Like, I'm broke and he came to you. I'm broke, bro, you know what I'm saying, and bad. I need some help. Because it sounds like he's saying he was basically with you. Does it sound like that? Fallen in decay with thee? What do you think that means? What do you think he's saying? If thy brother be waxing poor, all right, read that. If thy brother be waxing poor, verse 35, and if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee.
I feel like it's falling in decay and he's like talking to you about falling in decay. And because if you both are in decay, how are you going to relieve them?
Well, it's actually saying what it says, falling in decay with thee, like you know him. You know what I'm saying? And he's always around you, but he just happened to be broke. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing bad. He's falling in decay with thee. You know what I'm saying? He's around you. Relieve him. All right. Continue to read.
Yeah. Verse 36. Take thou no usury of him.
Sorry, 35, Bible
Verse 35. If thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
Okay.
Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy God.
So that's basically like if he's broke. So I had a bro live with me. He was broke. I didn't charge him no rent for almost a year and a half. He was just still living with me. You know what I'm saying? But he was broke. I was trying to get him on his feet. Like, hey, bro, come on. You know what I'm saying? He was listening. It didn't work. You know what I'm saying? But he finally got his ish together. And when he finally got his ish together, That's a different story. That's a different story, man. But at the same time, I did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? I did what I had to do. My wife was okay with it. She didn't, she talked to me about some stuff, but it wasn't like, saying she was mad as hell because he was still there. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Many brothers have slept on that couch. I gotta find something quick. Hold on tonight. Shalom, shalom. I'm not even gonna say that. But anyways, back to I'm not even gonna respond to that. But yeah, get back to that Baba Kashaf.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 36. Take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him the money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your God. Verse 39. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant.
So that same brother in verse 35 that's fallen in decay with you, and he dwelleth by thee be waxen poor. All right, that is in verse 39. That is the brother that is sold unto you. How is that? You bought him out of his decay. You bought him out of his decay. All right, bro, now you got to work for me. Back then, that's how it was. Now it's like, you hook a brother up, he ain't going to work back for it. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't have a job to pay you back. If he had a job to pay you back, he don't have to work for you. He can just work his job to pay you back. But if he didn't have a job, okay, bro, guess what? You got to do this, this, and this. You know what I'm saying? To pay me back what you owe, okay. I would pay you with $20 an hour. I gave you $100,000. So $20 an hour, that would be like 40 grand a year. So it'd take you about these 4 years to pay me back. Now, with the room and board and everything else, it's up to you if you're going to charge him or not. I wouldn't charge him the board because he's already working and he's working everything off. So the food and everything else will come free. The room and board, roof over his head will come free. But he would have to work in the vineyard or here, there, and there. But, he would be the overseer. You know what I'm saying? He would be the overseer of the brothers from the heathens, or the heathens that will be working with us. All right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Black Oreo.
Cool. Verse 40. But as an hired servant and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy God. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession.
So it's talking about their children too. But that right there, this is a killer for people that say, well, Black people put black people into slavery. Then you tell them, say, okay, cool, is all black people the same? Would you call a Somalian a black person? They'd be like, no. Okay, now that I separated them, how did they do things versus how the so-called black people do things? It's a different thing.
Shut up.
All right. He was talking to Google, yo. I have a Google. She comes on periodically. He wasn't talking by any one of you. But my Google in the other room went off and started talking. My bot next to me told the speaker box to shut up. Not any one of you. East Indians are darker. Savvy Montana. Yes, Indians are darker, but what do you mean East Indians? Are you talking about the people from India? Are you talking about the Indians, like land born? Be more. Answer that when you feel like it, all right?
All right, verse 46.
But there are Israelites in India, but just trying to have you to be more plain with it. You know what I mean? Explain what you're talking about to a fourth grader. All right, go ahead. It's not.
All right, verse 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession.
Hey, Salakia, real quick. So what I mean by not all black people are the same. They only call African Americans that over here in America black people. Okay. When it comes to people that come from Africa, they call them African Americans. Us, they call black people. So Salaki, let me fix it. Us, they call black people. And when African Americans come over here, that's what they call them, African Americans. But they call us African Americans sometime. But to distinguish who is who, I would prefer us to be called black people. Why is that? Because it separates us from everybody else. Even though we are Israelites, it still separates us from everybody else. So when they say people of color, they're talking about everybody with melanin. But when they say black people, they're talking about the people that are in the United States that were born here and went through slavery. There's a difference. Yeah, the ones with the red dots on their foreheads, those are Elamites. They're Elamites. Those are not our people at all, okay? Savvy Montana, those are not our people. And if you are wanting a breakdown of that, that can happen at a different time. Yeah, I know they're talking about the Elamites, but we got people out in India as well. Okay. All right, read again, Baba Kusha.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession.
Okay.
They shall be your bondmen forever. For over your brethren, the children of Israel, you shall not rule one over another with rigor. And if a sojourner or a stranger wax rich, so I can wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee to do the stock of the stranger's family.
And that's what I was talking about. Like when your brother, he loses his house and he's going to pay you back. You don't have the money. He can sell himself unto you to make up the money. That way he can get his house back. You know what I mean? So, but that brother right there, that's in verse 35 and 39 right there. You can't treat him as a bond servant. That's the Most High's people. He's basically the overseer. He's going to be basically whipping the hell out of them slaves, them heathens, that they don't get that job done right. They don't get that cotton picked. All right? If we don't get them katas, them katas in order, them South Africans and East Africans, them katas. All right? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 48. After he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him,
Okay.
Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him,
Okay.
or any that is nigh of kin unto him, of his family, may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself, and he shall reckon with him and that bought him from the year that he was sold to him.
So if you ain't got no family members that can come and redeem you, and you've accumulated some cash and some money, all you gotta do is give the money to a friend, or a friend come and give you the money, right? Or you can have the friend give the money to one of your relatives to come and buy you out of that captivity, like that. All right, go ahead.
Unto the year of Jubilee, and the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years, according to the time of an hired servant shall it be with him. If there be yet many years behind, according unto them he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was brought forth. And if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him according unto his years, shall he give him again the price of his redemption. Verse 53. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him.
That means he owes a lot of money. That's 50 years.
Verse 55.
Okay.
For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
Call Asherah, Debar Yahweh, Anaya Shah, Wanashaman. All that Yahweh said, what we doing here. So now we're about to go over to chapter 26. Zanakariah. Read again. Shalom. But yeah, Savvy Montana, yeah, that is what it is right there. And if you want a breakdown of it, it can happen at a different time. Right now, we're going through the Sabbath service, but those are the Elamites. Those are Elamites. Those are not our people. They are not our people at all. Okay. All right, man. Wait till my reader get back from the bathroom. Hey, y'all remember the Pentecost is coming up? Read right here the banner. May 10th, the third new moon. Okay. All right. May 13th to 17th, Puerto Rico Pentecost. May 16th, Holy Convocation. Pentecost, May 15th to 16th, 2021. Pentecost, Puerto Rico, y'all. All right. May 10th is coming up. That's the third new moon. All right. The third new moon is coming up on May 10th. All right. What do you mean how you celebrate it? What are you talking about, the Pentecost or the new moon, Savvy Montana? Answer that. But go ahead and read that, Sanakaria. Okay, any of them? Okay, we're going to get through the Sabbath service, and what you should do is inbox me on my Facebook page, or matter of fact, my YouTube page. You can email me or something like that, and what I can do is I can send you a breakdown, but it had to be other than the Sabbath service, and I'll be happy to let you know. Okay, so go ahead, Zanak, Ariah, and read.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 1. You shall make you no idols or graven images, neither rear you up any standing image, neither shall you set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto, for I am the Lord your God. You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due season, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread.
Real quick. Hey, yeah, the Pentecost will land on a Sabbath. It could be on a Wednesday, it could be on a Tuesday. Whenever what day the Pentecost land on, it will be a Sabbath. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give peace in the land. Ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil beasts out of the land. Neither shall the sword go through your land. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to fight.
Now, when you listen to this, what the Most High is saying, right? What it says, 5 of you shall what? Put what?
Shall chase 100.
5 of us shall chase 100. Now, imagine 100 people in front of you, and it's 5 of us, right? Me, Nakar Rakaz, and Nakaraya, Shapio Gabar, and Gabawar Gabar, right? It's 5 of us. And there's 100 people, right? We are going to put at least 20 each of them to flight. That's when we be talking about Hancock powers. Because ain't no way us in the state right now is going to put 20 to flight. You mean 20 going to whoop us right now? Even if they don't have no hands and know how to fight, 20 going to get one of us. You're going to be tired. But in that day, 5 of us shall put 100 to flight. Hey, I want them powers right there. I want that right there, man. Read. And then what it said, hold on. And 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight? Man. Hey, bro, that's some John Hancock stuff right there, man. All right, goes to Nakaria.
All right. And your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. For I will have respect unto you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, and establish my covenant with you. And ye shall eat old sword, and bring forth the old because of the new. And I will set my tabernacle amongst you, and my soul shall not abhor you. And I will walk among you, and will be your God, and ye shall be my people. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt. And ye should not be their bondmen. And I have broken the bands of your yoke, and made you go upright. But if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you, and will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in the vain, for your enemy shall eat it.
Hey, you shall sow your seed in sorrow. Man. That hurt. That hurt. Man. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee with none pursueth you. That's from Deuteronomy 28 and 25 right there. And then also verse 16, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague, and shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it. Sorrow, and cause sorrow of heart, depression. And that's going to happen in these last days too. Sorrow of heart. Why? Because a lot of people, one of the reasons, because one of the many reasons people are going to have sorrow of heart, because they're going to feel that they didn't do enough. And the truth, and they don't feel like the Most High loved them at all because of stuff that they were doing. They weren't doing things that they were supposed to do. And that's it. That's it. They wasn't getting the milk. It wasn't, we are kind of going through that already. We're in the end times, and the Most High is starting in the house already. Yeah. So go ahead, Zanakaria.
Verse 18. And if you will not let you for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins.
Right.
And I will break the pride of your power. And I will make your heaven as iron, and your earth as brass.
Right.
And your strength shall be spent in vain.
So your heaven is iron, and your what?
And your earth as brass.
Where's that at again?
19.
Verse 19. Okay, and I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron, and your earth as brass. Let me go somewhere real quick. Deuteronomy 28 and 23. Let me see. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 23. And the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. Okay, give me Deuteronomy 32 and 2. Let's find out what the rain is. Zanak, yeah, 32 and 2. Zanak, give me Jeremiah 6 and 9. Baba Kishah.
It's the book of Deuteronomy.
Hold on real quick. Real quick. Yeah, verse Deuteronomy 28 and 23 to 24. And the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. The Lord shall make the heaven, the Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. Give me Isaiah 5 and 24. So now give me 1 Samuel 2 and 8 first before we get those other two. Let's find out what the dust is. When you get it, go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 24. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth chaff, till the root shall be rootedness, and the blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel.
So when it says in Deuteronomy 28 and 24, the Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. It's the law, it's your knowledge. So when some person's coming out of the dust, it's confusion. So the dust is equals to confusion. All right, so now I can read that.
2 and 8. Yeah. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 8. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust.
He said what?
He raiseth up the poor out of the dust.
Out of confusion, read.
And lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill.
And lifted up the beggar from the dunghill. Because it was talking about in Isaiah 5 and 24, it was talking about the law. That confusion, not knowing the law, that dust is confusion because they don't know the law. Give me, just find out what the rain is. Deuteronomy 32 and 2, Nakaraka, and Zanak, Jeremiah 6 and 9.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 2. My doctrine should drop as the rain.
Say what?
My doctrine should drop as the rain.
Read.
My speech shall stay still as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the shorest upon the grass.
So when he says in Deuteronomy 28 and 24, The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. What is the rain? It's doctrine. It's understanding that reigns upon everybody else. Read that, Zanah.
Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 9. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel as a vine, and turn back thine hand as a grape gathered into the baskets. To whom shall I speak and give warning, and they may hear? Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Then they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproach, and they have no delight in it. Therefore, I am full of the fury of the Lord. I am weary with holding in. I will pour it out upon the children of wrath, and upon the assembly of young men together. For even the husband with the wife shall be taken, the age with him.
What verse you in right now?
Huh? Verse 12 now.
No, we're going to read 9 to 10. Start back at 9 real quick.
9.
Going to read to 10.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel as a vine.
So what's that glean? Thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel as a vine. That means they're going to take all of Israel. Because gleaning is taking the least bit of grapes that are on the ground. They're going to take all of Israel. All right, go ahead.
Turn back thine hand as a grape gathered into the baskets.
So he said, turn back thy hand as a grape gathered in the baskets. All right, the grape gatherer is going to, put the grapes back. Go ahead.
To whom shall I speak and give warning, that they may hear? Behold, their ears uncircumcised.
Say what?
Their ears uncircumcised.
Our ears are uncircumcised. Read.
And they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproach. They shall have no delight in it.
And the words of the Lord is a reproach to our people. That's how they are. Because they've been all gathered up and taken by the heathen. So the word of the Lord is a reproach to them. Man, when they like, what? They ain't talking about it. It's a reproach. It's a correction to them. Man, they ain't listening to that. Because their ears are uncircumcised. All right? So let's go back over to here real quick. Back to Leviticus 26. And where was you at, Zanah? He was 19.
Oh, yeah. Verse 19. And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron and your earth as brass, and your strength shall be spent in vain. For your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits.
Right.
And if you walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues on you, according to your sins.
Damn.
I will also send wild beasts among you, and which will rob you of your children.
So these beasts are going to rob you of your children. So are these beasts animals in the field, or they're actually people? Because I know beasts don't rob. They come in to kill right there and eat it in front of you, but rob is actually taking something and leaving, you don't see them again. Go ahead.
And I will send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children, and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolate.
Your highways what?
Your highways shall be desolate.
So there's going to be no trucks coming in and out to your land, taking produce here and there. You're going to be broke. Read.
And if you will not be reformed by these things,
right,
but will walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you, and will punish you yet 7 times for your sin. I will bring a sword upon you, that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. Quarrel of my covenant. And when ye are gathered together within your cities, I will send the pestilences among you, and ye shall be delivered unto the hand of your enemy. And when I have broken the staff of your bread.
But that happened to us. Everybody was starting to catch the COVID. But rather the Most High put that plague on you, that pestilence on you, and allow you to be delivered in the hands of your enemies, being in the hospitals under these machines and everything else. You know what I'm saying? That didn't happen to us. But it was like a correction, like an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? And then in your head, it's like, man, I don't want to go to the hospital, get on this machine and everything else. But, you know what I'm saying? Us sticking together, we healed one another. You know what I'm saying? That brotherhood. That was us keeping the law, that brotherhood that healed us. You know what I'm saying? But if we was probably any other Jake, it would have probably been something different. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 26. When I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, and they shall deliver your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied. And if you will not it's like in verse 27. If you will not for all this hearken unto me, or walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you, also in fury. I, even I, will chastise you 7 times for your sins. That ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat, and I will destroy your high places.
And that was a trail of tears. Remember that book, The Trail of Tears? When we was eating our children and everything else? Read.
And I will destroy your high places.
And that's what they did in the time of the Romans ransacked Jerusalem. There was no food inside there, so people was eating. There was no food. Right?
And I will destroy your high places and cut down your images and cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols, and my soul shall abhor you.
We got those cemeteries, idols all out there. Cast your carcasses upon your idols. Right? Go ahead.
And I will make your cities waste and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation, and I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. And I will bring the land into desolation, and your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. And I will scatter you among the heathen.
And that's what they do now. They're astonished at the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, how we come. You know what I'm saying? Hispanics don't even know who Azteca is when you ask them. Some of them don't even know. They be like, what? Aztec, and their friend be like, man, us, man. And, oh, yeah. The hell? Keep going.
And I will draw a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbath, as long as it lies desolate.
Moses said, once I get you out this land, then will the land enjoy the Sabbath. Go ahead.
Then shall the land enjoy her Sabbath, as long as it lieth desolate.
That's why they call it Mother Earth. Right?
And ye be in your enemy's land, even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Sabbath. As long as it lieth desolate, it shall rest, because it did not rest in your Sabbath when ye dwell upon it. And upon them that are left alive of you, I will send a faintness unto their hearts in the lands of their enemies, and the sound of a shaken leaf shall cause them, and they shall flee, and as fleeing from a sword, and they shall fall when none pursueth. And they shall fall one upon another, as it were before a sword, when none pursueth, and ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies, and ye shall perish among the heathen, and the land of your enemies shall eat you up, and they that are left of you shall pine away, and your iniquity in your enemies' land, and also the iniquities of their fathers shall they pine away with them. If they shall confess the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies.
Right.
If them their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. The land also shall be left of them that shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them, and they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgments, because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet, for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them, and to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them, for I am the Lord their God. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their God. I am the Lord. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
Okay. Brother Howard said, what we're doing here. Now, when you go to verse 43, the reason our people rebel against the Most High is because they despise his judgments. They think it's unfair. Why can't I just be who I want to be? Well, who told you that you can be who you want to be? You were created this person right here. You can't be other than what you were created. I just don't get it. The nature of a woman is this. The nature of a man is this. Okay? Hand me my book right there. I got some notes in it. It's right there. Pen on top of it. I got some notes in there. The water. Read 43, 26 and 43 real quick, Papa Kisha.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 43. The land also shall be left of them, shall enjoy her Sabbaths, while she lieth desolate without them, and they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity, because they despise my judgment.
You got to be able to accept the punishment. You got to be able to accept the fact what your forefathers has done. Let me see. In verse 40, read verse 40 real quick, Papa Kisha.
40. If they shall confess the iniquity of their fathers with the trespass which they trespass against, and that also they have walked contrary unto me.
Our people basically are committing the same trespasses our forefathers and foremothers done, doing the same thing. But if you can, what? Confess the iniquity of your fathers and your mothers with their trespass, which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I have also walked contrary unto them. You got to admit these things, that I did these things and I walked contrary unto you. But because I did that, you walked contrary unto me. And that's why I'm going through what I'm going through. But if you can admit this stuff to the Most High, then will he hear you and keep his covenant with you. Right? Let me see. So, like I was saying about the nature of a man and nature of a woman. All right. What is a man's nature? A man's nature is to discipline, correct, and have structure. Right? And a woman's nature is to, let me see. Where did I put it? Yeah, a woman's nature is to nurture feelings. It's to nurture feelings. A woman's nature is to nurture feelings. That's why they get very emotional. It's to nurture. A woman's nature is to nurture, right? That's why they make that exchange. For a man's resources, he gets the woman's womb. So when the children comes out, her nature is to nurture everything that the man give her to give to the children. She nurtures them. She nurtures the feelings. The child feels something different about what the man said. The woman breaks it down to the child in a way that they can handle at the time. You know what I'm saying? Her nature is to nurture. But when it comes to the man, if y'all can remember what I just said, right? A man's nature is to discipline, correct, and have structure. That must be accepted by the woman. Because if a man's job is to discipline, his job is also to discipline the woman, the children, the whole family structure. And then when he leaves the home and he speaks to the people, his job is to also discipline the people. His job is also to correct. So if he has to correct the woman and the children when he leaves the home, he has to correct his people as well. His job also to have structure. All right. So if the man giving the woman structure and how she should live her life around him, she must take heed to that. And then when he leaves the house, he has to give the people structure as well. But if a man cannot lead his home, how can he lead the people of the Most High? Okay. So we're done with 26 now, and we're off to chapter 27. So that's why a lot of our people don't like the Most High or to listen to him, or they rebel against the Most High because they don't like structure, discipline, and they don't like to be corrected, which that is the nature of a man, is to do those things. Discipline, correct, and give structure. Discipline, correct, and give structure. That woman has to accept that going into that marriage. The people have to accept that going into this marriage with the Most High. This man job is to discipline, correct, and to give structure. Okay? Go ahead, Zanakaria.
All right, this is Leviticus chapter 27, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, and say, start over. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when a man shall make a singular vow.
A what?
When a man shall make a singular vow.
A promise. I promise to do this. And he's talking to the Most High, right? Go to Numbers 30 and talk about vows and promises. Okay? Go ahead.
The person shall be for the Lord by thy estimation. And thy estimation shall be of the male from 20 years old, even unto 60 years old. Even thy estimation shall be 50 shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary.
Right.
And if it be a female, then thy estimation shall be 30 shekels. And if it be from 5 years old, even unto 20 years old, then thy estimation shall be of the male 20 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. And if it be from a month old, even unto 5 years old, then thy estimation shall be of the male 5 shekels of silver, and for the female thy estimation shall be the 3 shekels of silver, and it be from 60 years old.
Salaki, y'all, we got some unwanted noise and we're trying to take care of it. Bear with us for just a minute or two. Salak. All right, y'all, the noise has stopped. All right, let's go. Book, chapter, and verse.
Leviticus chapter 27, verse 8.
Okay.
But if he be poor, then the estimation, then he shall be present himself before the priest.
He shall what?
Huh?
Then he shall what?
Present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him according to his ability. That vow shall be the priest's value. Shall the priest value him? Verse 9. And if it be a beast whereof men bring an offering unto
so what
the
does
Lord,
it mean by that? The priest is going to value him. He ain't got no money, but the priest is going to value him, what he's worth. And then
why is that cut Jesus?
Almost in a car car. Almost. What is this in that?
Now you just like basically like the value of his like basically like whatever he has that value on him, he's gonna see that and basically like repossession, like a bail bond, basically. Like they have to take something that's valuable and when you pay all your money back and they give it back to you. Or something like, oh no, like they can take something like if you don't oh I get it, hold on, I got this.
Okay, after so many tries.
I got this.
Go ahead.
Okay, uh so like a bail bonds, right? It's like so you have to put something for repossession.
Mm-hmm.
So basically if you don't live out your vow, then they take that thing that's valuable.
Oh, start over again. Start over again. Say what you just said again. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So on bail bonds, right?
Uh-huh.
You basically when you don't pay that money that you vowed to pay, that you have to pay for the bonds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then if you don't do it, they repo. Basically, like you put your car on
Bill's bondsman come and put you in the jail.
What is it that?
Because you get out on bond, you just use something else. Because the bail bondsman, like bail bondman, will bond you out at like $100 grand, right? But if you don't make court, you got to pay that back, and they come and get you. But if you go to court, they get their money back. I hope I said that right.
No, I remember like.
But what? Okay,
they like you get like if you don't pay if you're not making payments,
mm-hmm.
then they can like basically if you put your car on like on the list of repossession and everything.
Oh, you talking about like leasing a car? Leasing, like if you lease a car, that's the only way that works. Yeah, you got that all messed up, Bob. It's okay, but check this out. What he's doing, he's valuing him what he's worth. Basically, he can value him to work and do something and do some work. You know what I'm saying? He'll work it off. Or what does I think he can pay? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I need the court. Get the court. Or you know what I'm saying? He's valuing him what he can. Well, man, I think you can pay this much or that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, or how much you got on you. Okay, your clothes, your garment, we'll take that. Your necklace, we'll take that. Your ring, we'll take that. Whatever he has on him, wherever he's worth, if he can work or anything else, he'll value him. Here, I got it. Oh, Salak, give us just a second, Salak. All right, we back. Salakia, sorry for the postponing the car. Put it in the room. Nah, mess with you. Hold on, man. Give me a second. Go. All right. Go ahead. Finish up.
Okay. I'm gonna start back at verse 8. Leviticus chapter 27, verse 8. But if he be poor in thy estimation, then he shall present himself before the priest, and the priest shall value him according to his ability that he vowed. No, it's like that vow. Shall the priest value him?
Basically, gonna value him to see what he has on him that's valuable, that can come up for that. You know, it's on clothing or work. Okay, go ahead.
And if the beast be if it be a beast whereof men bring an offering unto the Lord, all that any man giveth of such unto the Lord shall be holy. He shall not after it, nor change it.
He shall not alter it.
So he shall not alter it, nor change it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall at all change beast for beast, then it and the exchange thereof shall be holy.
What do you mean by then it? Well, it stands already. You already changed it. Then it. Don't let him change it again. Go ahead.
And if it be any unclean beast of which they do not offer a sacrifice unto the Lord, then he shall present the beast before the priest, and the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad, as thou valuest it, who art the priest, so shall it be.
So basically, they're not going to sacrifice this beast because it's an unclean beast, but that beast can just do something else. You know what I'm saying? Or a horse. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to sacrifice the horse, but he can use that horse. Go ahead.
But if he will at all redeem it, then he shall add a fifth part thereof unto any estimation. And when a man shall sanctify his house to be holy unto the Lord, then the priest shall estimate it, whether it be good or bad, as the priest shall estimate it, so shall it stand. And if he that sanctified it will redeem his house, then he shall add the fifth part of the money of any estimation unto it, and it shall be his. And if a man shall sanctify unto the Lord some part of a field of his possession, then that estimation shall be according to the seed thereof. And homer of barley seed shall be a value of 50 shekels of silver. If he sanctify his field from the year of Jubilee, according to the estimation, it shall stand. But if he sanctify his field after the Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon unto him the money according to the years that remain, even unto the year of the Jubilee, and it shall be abated from the estimation. And if he that sanctify the field will in any wise redeem it, then he shall add the fifth part of the money of thy estimation unto it, and it shall be assured to him. And if he will not redeem the field, or if he have sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed any more. But the field, when it goeth out in the Jubilee, shall be holy unto the Lord, as a field devoted. The possession thereof shall be the priest. And if a man sanctify unto the Lord a field which he hath bought, which is not of the fields of his possession, then the priest shall reckon unto him the worth by estimation, even unto the year of the Jubilee, and he shall give thy estimation in that day as a holy thing unto the Lord.
God.
In the year of the Jubilee, the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought, even to him to whom the possession of the land did belong. And all this estimation shall be according to the shekel of the sanctuary. 20 liras shall be the shekel. Only the firstling of the beast, which should be the Lord's firstling. No man shall sanctify it, whether it be ox or sheep. It is the Lord's.
Okay.
And if it be of an unclean beast, then he shall redeem it according to thine estimation, and shall add a fifth part of it thereto. Or if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to thine estimation.
Okay.
Notwithstanding, no devoted thing that a man shall devour unto the Lord of all that he hath, both of man and beast, and of the field of his possession, shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto the Lord.
Devoted thing is ready for destruction, something that's going to be destroyed. And, you know, that you want the Most High to destroy, you can't take that back. He's going to destroy it. Go ahead.
None devoured, which shall be devoured of men, shall be redeemed, which shall surely be put to death. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy unto the Lord. And if a man will at all redeem all of his tithes, he shall add thereto the fifth part thereof. And concerning the tithe of the herd or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, tenth shall be holy unto the Lord. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. Call Shabbath,
What the hell said? What we doing here? Come. Now it's time to go on to the prophets, y'all. All right, we done with the law. Okay, now it's time to head to the prophets. Where are we going? Jeremiah what?
16. Jeremiah 16 and 19.
Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 19 to verse 17 to what?
Chapter 17.
To chapter 17 to verse 14. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19. O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge, in the day of affliction, the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
Mm-hmm.
Shall a man make gods unto himself? They are no gods. Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is the Lord.
Continue.
Chapter 17, verse 1.
Huh?
The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron, and with the point of a diamond. It is engraven upon the table of their heart, and upon the horns of your altars.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst their children remember their altars, and their groves by the green tree upon the high hills. O my mountain, and the field, I will give thy substance, and all thy treasures to the spoil, and the high places were said throughout all thy borders.
Mm-hmm.
And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
What captivity is this?
It's the Roman. No, it's the Grecian captivity.
Law. Jeremiah. What time is Jeremiah in? What tribe is Jeremiah from? The tribe of Levi. He's a what?
Levite.
Well, all of them are Levites.
Isn't he a king?
He's an Aaronite.
Uh-huh.
And he was a king. Yes, he was. But what time was this? And this is for my men and my camp, really. But y'all can join in on it. Captivity.
Grecian captivity.
Find out. Go ahead. You said a Grecian captivity?
Yeah.
And you would say what? Huh?
The Babylonian, but yeah, it's for Daniel.
Okay. Go.
All right. Verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man.
Oh, we got to answer this stuff. Go to Jeremiah 10. Let's see if we can remember. So go.
So the first one.
You don't have to read it. I just wanted to remind you of the times that they're in right now. But you can go back to 17. I just wanted to remind you. Boom.
So what's in Jeremiah 10?
At this time, who is this? And what did they do?
The Babylonians, because they was doing the Christmas and everything.
Was it the beginning?
It was like the end.
And okay. Okay.
And then that's when they got taken over by the Greeks.
The Babylonians were taken over by who?
You got the Babylonians, then the Greeks, then the Romans.
Oh, you got the Babylonians, then the Persian and Medes.
Oh yeah, Persian Medes, and then the Greeks.
There you go. But you'll figure out what captivity they're in, because we're gonna be reading this, especially Jeremiah and Isaiah. I think we're gonna go Isaiah to Jeremiah first. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an idea, saying stuff's going on. But let's get back to the topic at hand. Right.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. Mm-hmm. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, that maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Mm-hmm. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in the salt land.
And that's just basically talking about a lot of brothers out here that they be following brothers, and they be following to the point that they trust in his brother. They trust in flesh instead of the word of the Most High. And that brother end up going off, and they following him, and they start going off. Go ahead.
Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord.
So basically, don't trust in men like that. You follow, but if you see something, you got to say something. You got to pull that brother to the side and say what you've seen. Right. You got to do that. You can't just, what I'm saying? I think it's wrong for you to see a brother that you follow and go off, and you don't say nothing to him. You got to prove all things. Of course, conversations get contentious, but so what? I mean, y'all gonna fight, man. It's just they get contentious, man. It happens, especially when men are trying to prove each other wrong and right. You know what I'm saying? That stuff happens, man. It just happens. Go ahead.
Yeah. Following somebody so much that they're going off, or there's something wrong, but you still see. Father.
Right.
Verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and his hope is the Lord is. That he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river. It shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought. Mm-hmm. Neither shall cease from yielding fruit. Also, on the landing back of what you said, contention is gonna come when brothers are trying to prove each other wrong and everything. Mm-hmm. I feel that only happens to brothers that don't know how to take correction.
No.
When you see someone that's making a good point, and you start getting mad and contentious and everything, or someone brings out something that you did, you get real contentious, means you don't know how to take correction.
No, if you examine what you just said, and a brother is making good points, but if a brother feels they may be good points, but if a brother feels like he's right, some brothers will debate their cause because you're supposed to. It's just going to get contentious. They're going to debate their cause. But if a brother can then shoot precepts on what they're doing and everything, that's why you present precepts. You don't just go based off of what you're saying by your mouth, you present precepts and you present facts, and you go off of 2 or 3 witnesses and everything else to show what that brother is doing wrong. But at the same time, you can show precepts, but you got to show a logical explanation of a breakdown to that person and bring it out. Words, we're saying this, vocabulary words, you know what I'm saying, going into this, you know what I'm saying, you want to help that brother out. That's how you bring it out. You know, you just don't come to a brother and say, you doing this and you doing that. Okay, cool, show me. Go to the precepts where I'm doing something wrong. Because I'm going to say that, you know, I want to see it. I just don't want you to say I'm doing something wrong. I want you to present it. And then when you present the precept, you know, okay, like verse Jeremiah 17:21 says, "Thus saith the Lord, take heed to yourselves and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem." So you're not supposed to be bearing burdens on the Sabbath day. So whatever's a burden on the outside, not on a Sabbath day. Don't worry about it on a Sabbath day. No burdens on a Sabbath day. So if this brother's over here and he's laying burdens on the Sabbath day, you know, I want to come and get this precept and show him, and then show him what a burden is. You know what I mean? If my wife is, you know, she's being a burden on a Sabbath day, I'm gonna present this precept and then show her what a burden is. You know what I mean? But go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
Verse 9, the heart is deceitful above all things, if that's for the wicked, who can know it?
Mm-hmm.
I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. As the partridge sitteth in the edges, and the hatchet them not, so he that getteth riches and not be by right shall leave them in the midst of his days, and the end shall be full. A glorious high throne from the beginning is a place of our sanctuary. O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsake thee shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of the living waters. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise.
So check this out. So when it says verse 7, Jeremiah 17:7, blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is, for he shall be a tree planted by the waters. So when you go over here to verse 13, when it says, O Lord, the hope of Israel, all that forsaketh thee shall be ashamed, and they that depart from me shall be written in the earth, because they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living water. So he shall, in verse 8, he shall be a tree planted by the waters. He shall be a tree planted by the Most High. That's what he's going to be if he trusts in the Lord. Go ahead. Oh, and that was the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to go to the Gospel of Luke, what?
4:14.
Luke 4 and 14. 22.
Who? Babylon?
That was what I like to do.
Read when you get there. Zanaka, all right.
Luke chapter 4, verse 14. And Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit to Galilee, And there went out a fame of him through all the region round about.
Okay.
And he taught in their synagogue, being glorified of all. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. Okay. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, and hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of the Lord."
What do you mean by that? Set at liberty of them that are bruised. When something is bruised, it hurts, right?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, so to set at liberty them that are bruised, them that who have been hurt by Christianity, Islam, and a bunch of other religious babble. Set at liberty them who are bruised, to set them free, to let them know that what's real and what's not real. That's what we out here doing too. We speak to the poor, right? We heal the brokenhearted. Them who mind are broken, we help patch things together. You know, when women and men are from, oh man, I knew that. We sitting there patching things together. Like, okay, that's this, and we showing them precept upon precept, line upon line. You know what I'm saying? We doing the same thing. And we preaching deliverance to the captives. Them that who feel they're they're in slavery still and everything else, and why it happens and everything else. We're doing that. And recovering the sight to the blind, right? Those that who can't see in front of them the things that are going on. We helping patch that up. We're doing the same thing Yahweh Shai did. We're following Yahweh Shai. All right. Go ahead, Zanat.
Verse 20. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down. And the eyes of all of them that were in the synagogue were fasting on him. And he began to say unto them, "This day is the scripture fulfilled in your ears." And all bare him witness, and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, "Is not this Joseph's son?" That's talking.
So today, this scripture is also fulfilled, right? And Isaiah, who was John, did the same thing. In Isaiah 61:1, the Spirit of the Lord God came upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach the good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prisons to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, and oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praises for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified. And that's what we are, man. We are planted by the stream of water. We're planted right by Yahweh in the same ways that Yahweh Shai done it. We are doing the same thing. All right. So we go over to what Matthew
16, verse 20 to 28.
All right. Go to Matthew chapter 16, verse 20 to 28. That's where we're going next. Matthew chapter 16, verse 20 to 28. Go ahead, Zanakaria.
This is Matthew chapter 16, verse 20. Then charged he his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Jesus the Christ. The time forth began Jesus to shew unto his disciples that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and he raised again the third day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, "Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee." And he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men.
And you don't say the things that be of God. You say things that be of men. He's exalting himself. Peter is exalting himself to change something that the Most High already said is going to happen. Okay, go ahead.
Then said Jesus unto his disciples.
Remember, if it be his will, who can turn it back? Go ahead.
Then said Jesus unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?
So, what man is to save his life in this world is going to lose it. He's trying to get what he can get in this world and get his money. Who is that? These brothers in the manosphere. They're trying to save their own lives. That's what they're trying to do, save their own lives. But who's to lose his life out here to say, you know what? I'm going to live the most high life in what he told me to do. Will save his life. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to save our lives and everyone else's at the same time. Go ahead.
Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul?
Mm-hmm.
For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father and his angels. Then he shall reward every man according to his works.
Remember Most High said he tried the reins? You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting once the Most High made up his mind, he's not double-minded. It's done. Go ahead.
Verily I say to you, there be some standing here who shall not taste of death.
Well, let me turn that again. That has nothing to do with the Most High being double-minded, because the Most High does change his minds. He is a merciful man, and he's very long-suffering. So the Most High does change his mind, but he's not double-minded, okay? Understand that. Go ahead.
Really I say to you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
Come. And with that, man, we're going to begin with these prayers, and we're going to get it over with the Sabbath service. So give us about a minute. Give us a minute, and we're going to start these prayers, and then we're going to get over with Shabbat services.
So be just a sec.
All right, shalom, shalom. Amadium, upon Yerushalayim. Everybody face the east. He's getting good at it. Just letting you hear his paws hit the ground.
Like, I'm done already?
I didn't want to rush him. Page real quick. All right. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Dash, Hayah, Shemkah, Yahweh, Rakah, Taba'ah, Zaka, Hayah, Shah, Barakazah, Kahayah, Shemayim, Danyanawa, Come, Pagawam, Pasalakinawa, Kabawatinawa, Pasalakinawa, Kabawatinawa, Pala'ah, Labiyanawa, Yesayawam, Abo, Awashayanawa, Amran, Kaya, Laka, Amwakwa, Wa'ala, Lahara, La'ilamyam, Ahmad, Bahashim, Yahushai, Shiach, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, hallowed be thy kingdom come, that will be done on earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our debts, forgive our debtors, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the kingdom, the kingdom, power, glory, forever. Hashem, Shah, Mashiach.
Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea. Venga a nosotros tu reino. Hágase tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy nuestro pan de cada día. Perdona nuestras ofensas, no nos dejes caer en tentación.
Hashem, Shah, Mashiach. Yasharah. Blessed are they that dwell in thy house. They will still be praising thee, Selah. Happy is that people that is in such a case. Yea, happy is that people whose Alahaya is Yahweh. I will extol thee, my Alahaya, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever. Great is Yahweh, greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall praise thy works to another, shall declare thy mighty acts. I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty, and of thy wondrous works. And men shall speak of thy might of thy terrible acts, and I will declare thy greatness. They shall abundantly utter the memory of thy great goodness, and shall sing of thy righteousness. Yahweh is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger and of great mercy. Yahweh is good to all, and his tender mercies are over all his works. All thy works shall praise thee, O Yahweh, and thy saints shall bless thee. They shall speak of the glory of thy kingdom, talk of thy power, to make known to the sons of men his mighty acts, and the glorious majesty of his kingdom. Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations. Yahweh upholdeth all that fall, and raiseth up all those that be bowed down. The eyes of all wait upon thee, thou givest them their meat season. Thou openest thy hand, and satisfiest the desire of every living thing. Yahweh is righteous in all his ways, holy in all his works. Yahweh is nigh unto all them that call upon him. To all that call upon him in truth, he will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He also will hear their cry, save them. Yahweh preserveth all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy. My mouth shall speak of the praises of Yahweh, and let all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever. But we bless the Yahweh from this time forth and forevermore. Hallelujah. 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 Ba'ashem. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Mashiach.
This is the first three prayers of the Father. Abawah,
Barak,
Da,
Yahweh,
Hayinawa, Alahaya,
Watinawa, Alahaya, Abraham, Alahaya, Mishazakwa, Walahaya, Yahweh, Allah, Sharia, Aliyah, Ayawam, Gabon, Kasarayam, Barak, Kada, Yahweh, Magad, Baraham, Warwa, Yahweh, Lawalam, Yahweh, Makaya, Matayam, Amaya, Dawama, Malak, Hayawam, Mamaya, Makaya, Barak, Ada, Yahweh, Makaya, Matayam, Kotoborsha, Shemihawa, Yahweh, Ada, Kadayash, Washika, Kadawash, Wakadawash, Call, Yawam, Allah, Barak, Ada, Yahweh, Allah, Hakadawash, blessed you, Yahweh, power of our fathers, power of Abraham, power of Isaac, our Jacob, mighty power, most high power, who bestows mercy, bless you, Yahweh, Abraham, the mighty Yahweh, Yahweh, who received the dead, who is prepared unto you, keep eternity, because death gives life. Bless you, Yahweh, who gives life to the dead, for holy Yahweh, name is holy, and on every day, praise you forever. Bless you, Yahweh, power is holy, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Yahweh. The Ayanawa. It is our duty to praise the master of all, to ascribe greatness to the author of creation, who has not made us like the nations of the lands, nor placed us like the families of the earth, who has not made our portion like theirs, nor our destiny like all their multitude. For they worship vanity and impudence, and pray to a God who cannot save. But we bow in worship and thank the Supreme King of Kings, the Holy One. Blessed be He who extends the heavens and establishes the earth, whose throne of glory is in the heavens above, and whose power's presence is in the highest of heights. He is our God, there is no other. Truly, He is our King. There is none else. As it is written in the Torah, you shall know and take to heart this day that Yahweh is Elohim, the heavens above and on the earth below. There is no other. Hallelujah. 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 Hashem. 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 Mashiach. Mashiach. Shema. Yahshua. Yahweh. Yahweh. Shema. Yahshua. Yahweh. Shema. Yahshua. Yahweh. Yahweh. Shema. Yahshua. Yahweh. Allah Yahweh. Yahweh. Achet.
Ten Commandments, love, Yahweh. Yah, Yahweh,
Alahayaka,
Asherah,
Wakazah, Atika, Baratazah, Baratazayim, La'ah, Yahaya, Lakha, Alahayim, Korea,
Ya,
Apanya,
La'a,
La'a,
Ta'asha,
Ta'asha,
Ka,
Laka,
So,
So,
Ala'a,
Wala'a,
no,
Abada,
La'a,
La'a,
Furkan,
Forka,
Afsham,
Afsham,
Yahoo,
Yahoo,
Bashwa,
Bashawa,
Zakar,
Zakar,
Ayawam,
Ayawam,
Ashba,
Ashabad,
Bakadash,
Lakadash,
Kabad,
Kabad,
Abaku,
Abaku,
Wa,
Wa,
Abaku, La'a,
La'a,
Rakza,
Taradazak,
La'a,
La'a, Danaka,
La'a,
La'a,
Daganab,
Dagamad,
Daganab,
Daganab,
La'a,
La'a,
Dana'a,
Dana'a,
Shakur,
Shakur,
La'a,
La'a,
Dagamad,
Dakamad,
All,
Ko,
Asherah,
Asharah,
Labarai,
Laurai,
First Bears accounts. They were Israel, Howard, Yahweh was one. Ashlam, Yahweh, Lower Heart, Soul, Night. Second Bears commanded. Ra'ika la'aka, Poma la'aka, Torah, Fani, Anka, Wa'aba, the Lava, Aka, Kama, Kama, Yahweh. Ashna, Avenge, Mercy, bear the grudge against the children of evil. Ashlam, the neighbors, like so. This is our one, Ash'ar, or the other one. Now, when Yahweh Shai was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the Leper, it came unto the woman having an alabaster box, a very precious ornament, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, that indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For his ornament might have been sold for 300 pence when your wages given to the poor. Now Yahushua understood, he said unto them, why charity the woman? For she hath brought a good work upon me. For yet, for the poor is always with thee, but yet not always. Now she has poured this ornament by the body, she did it for my burial. Really, I say to you, whatsoever this gospel shall preach in the whole world, there shall also be this, and none be told from the world of earth. Hashem,
Bashem,
Yosha,
Yahusha,
Mashiach,
Mashiach, Khan, that is the end. I pray you guys got fed, milk, and see you guys next time, alright? Shalom. Next week. Matter of fact, next Sabbath, we'll be doing Sabbath from Puerto Rico, okay? We'll be doing Sabbath from Puerto Rico. Shalom.